All right, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jay coming at you live once again today with another kick-ass episode of Insights by from the book How to Attract Money by Dr. Joseph Murphy. He also wrote the book. Um, he also wrote the book um, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, which is absolutely phenomenal. That is a book that you do not want to just read once and forget about it. It's one of those books that you want to reread and study. Hi, Mark. Good to have you. So without further ado, part two of How to Attract Money by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And I'm going to go deep on this one, so be ready. We're going to be talking about some universal laws and literally reprogramming parts of you that you haven't just been aware of just yet. So let me start. The urges, desires, and impulses we have for food, clothing, homes, better means of transportation, expression, procreation, and abundance are all God-given, divine, and good. But we may misdirect these impulses, desires, and urges, resulting in evil or negative experiences in our lives. So think about this. Much love, Mark. So think about this. Man does not have an evil nature. Boom, right there. Man does not have an evil nature. There is no evil in nature, period. It is God, the universal wisdom or life, seeking expression. Much love, Catherine. Thank you. Seeking expression through you. So think about that. How can the expression of God, of nature itself, seeking expression through you, have any evil in it? What makes something evil actually is your own limited consciousness. And here he gives an example of a college boy who, triggered by his environment, his desire to go to college is so high that he does a little bit too much of whatever it takes, and he does something that is illegal. He embezzles money and he lies to people. And he does actually go to school, but what happens is that by violating the laws of society, the law of harmony, or the golden rule, he finds himself in trouble. So actually, in this example, the boy ends up in jail. But if you think about it, who actually really put him in jail? And this is very clear. The policeman who locked him up was the instrument. It was just a medium through which he ended up in prison. But by violating the laws, the boy first imprisoned himself in his mind by stealing and hurting others. Fear and a guilt consciousness followed. This is the prison of the mind, followed by the prison walls made of brick and stones. This is absolutely very, very deep. Is something that you have to actually analyze a little bit deeper. So let me go into just a little bit. Fear and guilt consciousness followed. What this consciousness does, it keeps transmitting something to you, a deeper part of you that's imprisoning you out of that fear and guilt, because you've done something wrong, and now you keep thinking about that, and you keep feeling guilty about it. So your mind starts to become very fearful, very anxious, and that limits you. And the more limited you get, at one point, that limitation is going to express outside of you because of your conscious vibration, followed by your subconscious transmission of that vibration. And it's going to express outwardly in your world as you ending up in prison. So check this out. Money is a symbol of God's opulence, beauty, refinement, and abundance. And it should be used wisely, judiciously, constructively to bless others. Think about this. When your blood is circulating in your body, you're healthy. By the same token, when money is circulating in your life, you're economically healthy. You are living in a subjective and an objective world. And knowledge of this spiritual power is the means to the royal road to riches of all kinds, whatever those riches may be, spiritual, mental, or material. What you really have to know is that no matter, regardless of the form your currency may look like, right now we use paper currency, but there's new currency coming out in the world called Bitcoin or cryptocurrency based on blockchain technology. So at one point, our currency is going to look different. And there's going to be a lot of economic ups and downs. But the thing is that through your consciousness and knowing very deep inside of you, in your heart, that your wealth is an idea, it is a consciousness, you will always be abundant. You will always be amply supplied for by a force bigger than you that is always there for you to take care of you. Wealth is a state of consciousness. It is a mind condition to divine supply forever flowing. Money or wealth is like the tide. It's like the tide. It can go wild, but it always comes back, and the tide never fails. And neither will man supply when he trusts a tireless, changeless, immortal presence, which is omnipresent and flows ceaselessly. And the man who knows the working of the subconscious mind is never, therefore, worried about the economic situation, because he abides in the consciousness of God's eternal supply. Now, the term God here, because Dr. Joseph Murphy is a man of God, he uses the word God. If you do not believe in God, or if you believe in another God, you can replace that word. Yet the truth of the principle, the foundational philosophy, doesn't change. Because think about this, and he quotes a Bible verse. I don't know which Bible verse it is, but he says, "Behold the birds of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they?" And as you consciously commune with the divine presence, claiming and knowing that it leads and guides you in all your ways, that it is a lamp unto your feet and a light on your path, you will be divinely prospered and sustained beyond your wildest dreams. And he gives you a very, very powerful technique to start to commune with this in a more efficient manner. And the main thing that you have to know is that you have to relax and allow the power to flow to and through you. And how you allow the power to flow to and through you is by completely relaxing and allowing yourself to be conscious of the fact that we are all made of the same substance. Once you have achieved this, one thing that you have to make sure to know is that right now there is a feeling that is dominant in your life. For some of us, it's abundant. For some of us, it's lack and scarcity. Depending on which point you're at, I'm going to pick scarcity because that's what a lot of us have been conditioned through life. When you have a feeling of scarcity, you have to speak to your subconscious in a way that it will not create any repelling force against what you are affirming through allowing the power to flow to and through you. So instead of affirming things like I'm a millionaire and have your subjective word rejected, saying you're talking nonsense, you can talk about becoming it. So instead of saying I am a millionaire, you can say I am prospering every day. I am growing in wealth and in wisdom every day. Every day my wealth is multiplying. The other thing that you can do if you're in sales, like I am, you can be a penniless salesman. However, there is nothing there to say that tomorrow you're not going to produce a sale. So instead of saying, I am producing a sale right now, or I have produced an obscene amount of sales which you do not allow yourself to accept, you can say something like, my sales are increasing every day. And with that belief, like I said, there is nothing that stops you from tomorrow, based on the belief that your sales are increasing every day, to actually start increasing your sales every day. And the main thing that he stresses over here is that it is not the idle, mechanical repetition that will build your success in building a wealth consciousness. You have to begin to feel the truth of what you affirm. Keyword, belief. Begin to feel the truth. Begin to believe what you're saying to yourself. The spiritually advanced student who quietly, knowingly, and feelingly says, I am prosperous, I am successful, I am wealthy, gets wonderful results. And you may be saying, why is it true for them and not for me? Because when you think, feel, and say, I am prosperous, you know that you're connected to the all supply of infinite riches. And what is true of infinite supply is true for you. And I will stop my insights of the day, my summary of the day here. And just, I know I went a little bit over 10 minutes today, but I really wanted to talk a little bit about these deep insights that just kind of like flew over my head the first few times that I read the book. Because when you think about things like your subconscious mind and you think about belief, the biggest confusion is, how do I believe something in which I don't believe in right now? And that thought rattled my brain for a very long time. And what I realized is that belief is nothing but a thought repeated. And sometimes you repeat that thought, but sometimes, and a lot of times actually, it is a thought that was given to you by somebody else. Number one source is heredity, because culturally in your own family, certain words and certain beliefs have been passed down over and over and over and over. And even though you feel removed from some of those beliefs, somehow still deep inside of you, what's going on, Harry? Deep inside of you, something is still like lodged in there, and you just can't seem to know exactly what it is. The other, number two, very impactful way in which you are programmed is your environment, school, society, your community. And as you grow up, you hear things and you are told to mold into this model of society or community, or you budge under pure pressure, and you start accepting ideas which are not yours. And at one point, you repeat them so many times that they become yours. But let me repeat this once again. What is a belief but just that thought that has been repeated over, and over? So when you start repeating this over and over to you, like it says here, right? You start priming your subconscious mind. And once again, it is not the idle mechanical repetition which brings it down onto your heart. It is a repetition that goes with a lot of emotion and feeling. And what happens when we're repeating things to ourselves which are not yours, that have been given to us? What happens when we're teenagers and we budge under peer pressure, and we start doing things that we know at some point are not good, but we start to repeat to ourselves that it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and we start doing things, and next thing you know, you're like doing something that you never thought about doing before anyways, but at one point it became okay to you because you attach a lot of feeling into it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And next thing you know, you're smoking and drinking underage, and you didn't even know that. That's my example. I started to smoke and drink when I was 12. And it was because I told myself that it's okay because everybody else is doing it. So why not me? And it was okay with me for a very long time until many years later, 20 years later, it was time for me to get a checkup from the neck up. and say, no, it's actually not okay, and it's not what I want, and start to really think about what I want and start to reprogram myself to stop smoking and drinking, right? And it was when I repeated with so much feeling, with so much desire to live a healthy life, right? That I was able to change and give the new belief to my heart, and out of that belief, a new and beautiful habit came, which is the habit of health. So you see, he talks about in this book about riches because the book talks about money, yet the application of this principle, of this universal law, is a paradigm shifting action and fundamental that you're going to be able to take this and apply it into any area of your life and still achieve success in what you really want. Because not everybody wants money. Some people just simply want love. Some people want relationships. Some people want the ability to be able to have the time freedom to create whatever it is they want to create. And that's okay, as long as you learn how to work with these timeless principles, these universal laws that have been here before time, are here now, and will be after time. So with that, guys, I know that I went over time and I went deep, yet I really felt that this was very, very, it's a very crucial share to really solidify some of these deeper beliefs about the subconscious and how and what can we do to change those beliefs that are lodged deep inside of us. And I really thought that this was crucial because this is something that I have been working on for a very long time. And I am now starting to see the fruits of that labor, mental labor, mind labor, not just physical. Physical is important, yet there has to be a lot of mind altering that has to happen. And I'm not talking only about the brain. There has to be a mind altering action, a paradigm shifting action, which is going to cause your body to behave in different ways, producing results you've never had, because now you're naturally and confidently performing actions you've never done efficiently in a certain way. And if you follow any of my other previous book insights, you will know what that certain way is. And if you didn't, go check out my series on The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And with that, guys, I once again thank you and appreciate you all for spending precious time of your day today. Put into practice what I just told you. Allow yourself to relax and believe that we are all made of the same stuff, one source. And out of that one source, you are able to allow pure, unadulterated spirit to flow to and through you, manifesting, allowing yourself to create the world that you really want to create for yourself. So without further ado, thank you for being with me. Love you all for being with me. And I will look forward to sharing more with you tomorrow. With that, this was your boy Jay. Peace out. Much love, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.